Hello, low cipher here. So what was Concord? Well, it was a woke piece of dog shit game by Soini that flopped harder than a fish out of water, ending with Soini inducing it into a coma 2 weeks after release, which is less time than a housefly is alive. Its gay supporters prayed for it to come back as a free-to-play slop, but about 2 months later Sony put it out of its misery and shut down the studio. And why did it fail? Well, because it was a woke gay slop. End of story. Wait, come back. I didn't say that it was the end of the video, damn it. Let's admit it, many of us weren't the 25,000 homos who wasted $40 on Concord. Because Concord is part of this new, ugly, weird, demonic left-wing entertainment industry from the West, where we entertain ourselves by spending hours watching people shit on woke slop, instead of actually buying the slop which then flops. It is a strange business model, but one that ugly blue-haired fat fucks, gay homos, and beta soy boy cucks have deemed potentially profitable because they've got the same economic sense as the donkey-faced representative from New York. Evil woke cockroaches, and IGN and Kotaku urinalists are outraged at us chads for judging a book by its cover, but the problem is Concord isn't a book. It's the shit under your heels that you judge based off the smell of dung wafting up your nostrils. You literally do not need to experience woke slop in order to know that it's woke slop. That's like telling someone that he needs to taste the dog shit on the road to make sure it is shit before avoiding it. What the fuck kinda logic is that? That was a shitty segue, but none of us wanted to play this putrid pile of homo trash the moment we saw it. Soini couldn't even get 700 homos to play it at the same time. I don't understand. Hollywoke, Democrats, and leftists keep telling me that the rainbow people make up 50% of the world, that the modern audience would eat this up, yet only 25,000 of them decided to buy Concord? Why? Wherefore art thou, modern audience? Why hasn't thou partook in the feasting of the woke slop after slop, which thou have long prayed for? Ye prophets, ye chef extraordinaire, gave you everything. From dykes, to feminists' flatboards, to soy boys, to ugly vitiligo fat fucks, to disabled losers in wheelchairs. Why aren't the modern audience paying for these left-wing slops? Because the truth is simple. Farts in the wind have more substance and presence than the delusional urinalist fever dream of a modern audience. And you don't need to be an Ugandan rocket scientist to tell that none of us Chad bros want to play this homo shit. Seriously, look at the DEI characters that the designers of this Overwatch clone came up with, like they just pressed the randomize button from some PS3-era shareware game. Recoil in terror as rainbow diarrhea pollutes your corneal retina, with the usual suspects of woke horrors like a fat butch dyke, bloated black face, yondu covered in green sewage goo, Asian grandma, and who looks like a mukbang YouTuber who's about to die from an exploding gut. Even their robot is not cool. Look at this plus-sized yellow trash can that resembles a fat-ass fuck. Geez, also, can you imagine a bunch of geriatrics and fat fucks running and jumping around a shooting arena? Concord finally gives us undeniable proof that DEI consultants and focus groups are stupid and one of the greatest scams of the 21st century. Because these are what they want to represent. How many millions of gamers in this world do you think are ugly dykes and trannies, black faces, green yondus, Asian grandmas, and DAWs? These dumb consultants cannot change the undeniable fact that the primary source of revenue, and the most important customer base in video gaming are the straight men of culture. Geez, how hard can it be to see that games made by men for men sold like hot cakes, and games made by uglies, homos, and cucks for the fabled modern audience are flopping? We want masculine power fantasies with traditional gender roles, universal truths, and bodacious babes. Not one of these whales or transtrap lecturing us about the message. Soini could have literally hired an 80-years-old Japanese rice farmer as a consultant to tell them this, instead of wasting their time and money with woke consultants. But that's what you get when you move your entertainment headquarters to California. Honestly, the brain-dead Japanese executives of Soini who are responsible for the move should harakiri themselves. These must be the same idiots who've green-lighted an anti-capitalist game with another ugly black tranny dyke, yet have also pulled one of the greatest capitalist move of all time. selling the PS5 Pro for $700 without a disk drive or vertical stand. It's ironic that the studio which made this game was named Firewalk Studio. You'd think a studio with such a cool name would be staffed to the brim with Chad bros who'll make awesome games full of muscular men and bodacious babes. Well, that's where you'll be wrong. Firewalk Studio is the typical woke place filled with brain-dead leftist morons, millennials, and Gen Zs all infected with the woke mind virus, where everyone must conform to the current thing or be bullied out if they aren't a submissive NPC. Sigh, what a waste of a good name. One of the star employees of Firewalk Studio includes the ugly-looking and mentally ill Lisa Brown, who had delusions of identifying as a non-binary professor, and then demanded that everyone call her professor. The bitch also wanted unvaccinated staff fired, and hates guns while working on a game about shooting people with guns as its main mechanic. Why couldn't her 20th booster shot climate changed her heart? Another is a purple-haired woke concept artist, Amanda Kiefer, who has the talent to draw badass babes, yet wants to fight the male gaze, so instead we got the laughable cast of uglies the whole internet is cringing at. At this point, the uglification of women in the West is not a conspiracy theory, but a conspiracy reality. The unsustainable masquerade is beginning to crack, and the IGN and Kotaku urinalists can't keep damage controlling an industry that's hemorrhaging millions of dollars with the duct tape of racists, sexists, and bigots all the time. You're a right-winger, you're a Russian bot, everyone's a Nazi. Yeah, way to go alienating the regular dude who just wanna kick back and kick ass in his video games after his 9-to-5 corporate wage slave of a job. Because dismissing the legitimate concerns of real gamers and equating them with Aryans who want to build concentration camps, don KKK masks and set crosses on fire in front of the lawns of homos is exactly how you build customer loyalty. Have you ever stared in the mirror and realize how superior you are than them idiots and losers in charge of multi-billion-dollar companies? Like if you were in the boardroom, you would have the integrity to admit that as real Chad gamers you're a normal, tribalistic, sexually stimulated consumer who likes tits and ass? Yet all we've got are these soy boys who are feminist allies, and so far disconnected in their ivory towers and detached from what the common man wants. All they do is virtue signal their piety in their left-wing and Twitter echo chambers, yet take part in eyes-wide-shut orgies and sniff coke off a hooker's ass. They're so powerful that they can lose 200 million BlackRock and Vanguard bucks on a homo slop like Concord and not get into any trouble at all, while if you lost even $200 in your job, you would be Anakin Skywalkered on Mustafar. So here we are in 2024, at the end of a long, ongoing road of woke flops after flops. The four has spoken, the saints has rode, the flint has locked, the dust has borne, and the con has cored. It goes without saying that the new couple of upcoming woke games such as the South of Midnight and Fair Games are both gonna flop. That's what's happening to Dragon Age Veilguard. And they all seem to share a common element, ugly black women. My pattern recognizing neuron pathways tells me that there is a conspiracy afoot. A conspiracy by the globalist goys and kikes to pump the market full of DEI slop in quick succession, with fugly black things masquerading as women, in order to make us lose attraction to black women. And why the fuck is Deborah Wilson in everything? I'm done even being nice to her. She ain't the greatest voice actress anyway. Tell her to fuck off and leave us in peace. I'm tired of seeing a bug-eyed African Martian from Mars attack every time she comes on screen. I'm sure our goodwill for these evil woke cockroaches have long run out, and we don't need to be polite about the utter revulsion in our guts when we look at these toxic homo slops the left are shitting out from the anus of their creative bowels. It's so clear that in the end even the uglies, homos, and cucks don't support the gay products made for them, and feel the same things we do, but they just pretend they don't in some misguided attempt at virtue signaling, and being part of the same social herd. So we've touched upon a few elements of why Concord failed, from ugly DEI characters, to woke devs, to stupid executives being so out of tune with what the common man wants. Ultimately, Concord and its studio shut down, and the firing of its creators was chef's kiss. I hope they all get chased out of their cushy apartments by Venezuelan gangs, stay in cardboard boxes, and poop on the shitty streets of their always vote blue sanctuary cities, decorated by hundreds of AIDS and STD-infested needles. Maybe Soini should print out 1 million Concord Blu-rays and bury them in a New Mexico landfill, right next to E.T., as a symbolical gesture of the hubris of idiots and evil woke cockroaches. No one normal is surprised that Concord failed. We normal dudes predicted it the moment it was revealed to us. Heck, the pattern recognition of everything woke turns to shit is so on point, that I can make a single review for all woke slops, past, present and future right now. They get a 0 out of 10 in the story, characters, graphics, gameplay, and fun department. Their products are a gigantic, woke crock of shit that will never make a positive cultural impact, ever. To woke losers everywhere. Get your woke homo shit out of our faces, and die, motherfuckers. My vulgar and politically incorrect rants are for entertainment purposes only. Please view the disclaimers in the description box. Please also like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you.